You open your eyes, and it's already there. Before you've even processed the morning, there's a heavy, unprompted tightness sitting right in the center of your chest, right in the solar plexus. It feels like a distorted intuition. Your brain is scanning the horizon for hypothetical threats, looping through an endless reel of what-ifs. Living in these alternate, disastrous futures forces your mind into a permanent state of defense. You are continuously bracing for an impact that hasn't happened yet, leaving absolutely no room to rest in the present. This exhausting baseline hum indicates a much deeper, unaddressed burden: internalized shame. Society hands men a rigid blueprint for how to exist. There is unrelenting pressure to be the flawless financial provider, to achieve a visible status, and to embody the traditional role of a biological father. This creates a psychological trap. When a man fails to align perfectly with these impossible metrics, he begins to feel like an imposter in his own life. You see this in the professional world, where men often feel like they are trespassing, walking into rooms where they feel they lack the specific vocabulary or the right network to truly belong. That imposter syndrome bleeds into cultural identity too. It manifests as the quiet shame of feeling like a fake within your own heritage, simply because you don't speak your native language or fit the expected mold. Men carry this massive, invisible burden in total isolation. They are paralyzed by the fear that one day their failure to meet the societal blueprint will be completely exposed. When the wake of isolation becomes unbearable, men look for help in a clinical system that, paradoxically, is built on the same foundations of distance and separation. This system operates on Chronos time, a rigid, clock-based structure forcing human healing into predefined 60-minute blocks. Real connection requires Kairos time, fluid, natural pacing for organic growth. It's the difference between a ticking clock and a flower blooming. Instead, we've built a production line of psychology. A person's raw humanity and trauma are systematically processed into standardized paperwork and case notes. We treat the mind like a problem of logistics. The result is a sterile environment where the messy nature of human pain is filed away. This approach processes patients with incredible efficiency, but it strips away their humanity. It leaves them structurally treated while remaining emotionally isolated. The alternative is Ubuntu, an indigenous framework where healing is understood as a communal act. Historically, community gathering places served as the original networks for mental health. There was no clinical hierarchy, only a collective sharing of the human experience. This communal environment relies on figures like the healthy uncle, proving men can provide profound, nurturing value without being biological fathers. Healthy masculinity means showing up by actively listening, maintaining clear boundaries, and having humility to admit mistakes. True connection is difficult because we are programmed to view outsiders as threats. Like soldiers, we assume the worst about those we don't know. Breaking this programming requires stepping into a community. It is only there that we discover our shared, flawed fallibility and see that we aren't as alone as we thought. Our societal environments are often designed to keep people separated. We are structurally encouraged to remain uniform and stay within our designated zones. These structural divisions rely on explicit rules to dictate who belongs where, reinforcing a persistent fear of anyone who exists outside those boundaries. But something shifts when two men from entirely different backgrounds intentionally bypass these systems. They choose to meet on common ground and lower their defenses. They begin to speak things that are rarely said out loud: the feeling of being an inadequate parent, or the quiet panic of being a fraud within their own heritage. While avoiding shame gives it power, acknowledging it openly transforms it. It stops being a weight and starts being a truth teller that sharpens your authentic values. Modern society teaches that projecting absolute certainty and hiding your fear is the ultimate measure of male strength. Real bravery involves lowering that armor. Allowing yourself to be seen as a flawed, anxious human is the most difficult thing a man can do. Recovery from chronic anxiety cannot happen in a vacuum. It requires the friction and the warmth of genuine human connection. To find relief, men must step out of their individualized silos. We have to take the risk of being truly known by another person. Lasting change requires stepping away from the clinical production line to rediscover the humanity in ourselves and each other. It's the only way to end the isolation that created the shame in the first place.